Hello, my name is Derek, and I'll be discussing my capstone project about the crisis of U.S. Air Flight 1549. Many people refer to this as a miracle, but what really made this work was strategic crisis management, rapid planning, and executing those plans effectively. Today, I'll also provide a model for effective crisis management and communications. Defining a crisis. We need to first identify what type of crisis occurred. Flight 1549 was a sudden operational crisis, and more specifically, a black swan event. This black swan was an unexpected and high impact event. It happened at approximately 3:27 p.m. when U.S. Airway Flight 1549 struck a large number of Canada geese. This caused the two main engines to lose all power at an altitude of 2,800 feet. Time constraints were extremely limited as the pilots had to act within 208 seconds in order to prevent a catastrophe involving many passengers over one of the world's most densely populated areas. Evaluating and planning. The second component of a crisis management process is evaluating available resources. Captain Sullenberger and Skillies quickly assessed three options for landing locations: LaGuardia Airport, Teterboro Airport, and the Hudson River. They evaluated these options rapidly and determined that using standard procedures for returning to an airport would have resulted in the highest risk of loss of life. Therefore, they decided to use the Hudson River as an obstacle-free runway. In doing so, they chose the lowest risk alternative to achieve the best odds of saving as many passengers as possible. Crisis communications. Crisis communications is fundamental to the success of crisis execution. Captains Skullenberger and Skillies use crew resource management (CRM) techniques. CRM uses established communication patterns among team members to facilitate maximum exchange of information during times of stress. An example can be seen in the transcript when Captain Sullenberger states, "My aircraft," which immediately transfers authority to his co-pilot, allowing him to concentrate exclusively on restarting the engines. A secondary example is the use of a brace for impact command to signal both the cabin crew to implement their predetermined individual actions regarding their role in emergency situations. Execution and crisis management. After determining their course of action, it is time to execute that plan. Water ditching a commercial airliner is very difficult. To avoid flipping upon impact, the aircraft must remain at a precise angle and speed as it enters the water. After impacting the water, there are still some aspects of crisis management involved. For example, Captain Sullenberger displayed great crisis leadership by verifying each passenger had left the aircraft before he himself exited. Also, coordinating with nearby ferries enabled them to convert the crash site into an organized maritime rescue. Evaluate and takeaways. Lastly, we evaluate our plan to determine ways we can make improvements for better preparedness in future incidents. As a result of the investigation conducted by the National Transportation Safety Board, simulations were run and they found that even though returning to an airport would have been feasible for computers, humans could not perform such tasks because it did not take into consideration analysis time. This is the amount of time it takes for a person to analyze an emergency situation in real time. These findings led to permanent system changes, including a new FAA bird ingestion standard and faster emergency checklists for low-altitude engine failures. This case study demonstrates that a well-executed crisis provides us with valuable data needed to improve future plans and ultimately save lives.